Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to share a really wonderful story that has a super powerful lesson baked right into it. It's about a boy, his pretty unique parrot, and a feeling that, let's be honest, we've all probably felt at some point. So, let me just ask you this. Have you ever heard some amazing news from a friend, and instead of just pure, simple happiness for them, you felt, I don't know, a little pang of something else? Something kinda uncomfortable? Well, that's exactly where our story kicks off today. Okay, let's set the scene. We're in a quiet little village in India, and we're about to meet our main character, a young boy named Arjun. He's a good kid, known for being kind and really, really smart. And he has this very special pet parrot. All right, so you know who's who? Here are our key players. We've got Arjun, our hero. Then there's Pari, his amazing parrot. Ravi is Arjun's best friend. And of course, there's envy, that feeling of jealousy that you'll see becomes a character all on its own. So what's the deal with Arjun's parrot, Pari? Well, she was peculiar. And by that, I mean she had this totally unusual, almost strange talent. She could mimic any voice or any sound she heard. And I mean perfectly. Now, you're going to want to remember that little detail because it's super important later on. So now we get to the part of the story where things really start to happen. It's just a normal, happy day, but something's about to go down that changes everything for Arjun. Arjun's friend Ravi comes rushing over, and he is just bursting with excitement. He's waving this gorgeous invitation in the air. Turns out, he's been invited to this huge quiz competition in the next town over. I mean, this is a really big deal. And we're not talking about just any little school contest. No, this was a prestigious competition. That means it was highly respected, a really important event. You know, the kind of thing that getting an invitation to is a massive honor. So, how does Arjun react to his friend's amazing news? You'd think he'd be thrilled, right? But he wasn't. Instead, as he stared at that fancy invitation, his eyes just widened with envy. You see, Arjun had always been the top student, and all of a sudden, this powerful wave of jealousy just washed over him. So later that night, Arjun's just sitting around with Pari, kind of stewing in all these bad feelings. He thinks they're his own private thoughts, locked away inside his head. But he's about to find out they are definitely not a secret anymore. Now, Pari the parrot, she's a clever bird. She's really perceptive. And she immediately notices this change in Arjun's demeanor. You know, the whole way he's acting and looking. He's all quiet and mopey, and his usual happy vibe is totally gone. And then it happens. Pari opens her little beak, and in Arjun's exact voice, she says the words that had been swirling around in his mind. I wish I were invited to that quiz competition. Ravi doesn't deserve it. Can you believe it? His own secret, jealous thoughts spoken out loud for him to hear? Whoa, just take a second and imagine that. How would you feel if your deepest, maybe darkest thoughts were suddenly put on blast for you to hear with your own ears? For Arjun, hearing his own negativity echoed back at him like that, it was a complete and utter shock. And that right there, that's the turning point. Hearing those ugly, poisonous words in his own voice makes Arjun realize just how awful his envy had become. He knew right then and there that he couldn't let this feeling eat him up. He had to make a change. So what does he do? Well, he actually makes a plan. First, he admits to himself how he's feeling. He confronts the envy. Then, he goes to find Ravi and gives him a real from-the-heart congratulations. He even offers to help Ravi study for the competition. What a turnaround. And just look at this transformation. It's like night and day. He goes from feeling envy to feeling empathy, from jealousy to genuine pride, and from all that negativity to actual, real happiness. By choosing to support his friend, he literally changed how he felt inside. What Arjun did here, there's a term for it. It's called emotional intelligence. It's all about being able to recognize what you're feeling, understand why you're feeling it, and then figure out how to manage those emotions in a healthy way. It's such a huge life skill. All right, let's fast forward to the big day. The quiz competition is finally here. Arjun and Ravi head over together. But this time, Arjun isn't jealous. He's there as Ravi's biggest supporter, having spent weeks helping him get ready. And the result? Ravi wins. He absolutely crushes it and takes first place. He was answering questions left and right, partly because he's so smart, but also because he had his best friend in his corner, helping him the whole way. But here's the real victory of the story. When Ravi's name is called as the winner, Arjun doesn't feel even a tiny bit of envy. Not a drop. Instead, his heart is just filled with pride. Ravi's success honestly felt like his own success. He found out that helping his friend win felt even better than winning himself. So, what's the big moral of the story? It's pretty simple, but so powerful. Envy, it just leads to feeling bad. But real happiness, that true feeling of contentment, you find that when you celebrate the people you care about. When you support your friends, it actually makes your own life so much richer. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. Just like Pari the parrot reflected Arjun's true feelings back to him, we get to choose what we reflect out into the world. So I'll just leave you with this question. Whose success are you going to celebrate today?